Hello, this is Reuven Tradburks. I'm the RCA representative in Israel, and I'm recording this today in Jerusalem. I want to talk about the Haftorahs. There actually is a parallel to the story of Chanukah in Tanakh itself. The three Nevi'im accompanied the people back to the land of Israel in the time of Zerubbabel and Yoshua, when Koresh had given permission to rebuild Jerusalem and the Mikdash. And the story of Chanukah, or the day of Chanukah, is explicit in the book of Haggai. What I'm going to say now is based on a shir which Yobi Nun gave, in which he mentions also, Rabbi Yaakov Emden says this, and also the Ger Rebbe. Haggai says, on the 24th of Kislev, the day before they're going to build the Mikdash, he said, just before we build, I want to tell you the following things. So the story is that the people came back in the time of Koresh, and they were given permission to come back. They were led by Yoshua and Zerubbabel. If you were a Navi at that time, when they came by, what would be your theme that you would speak to the people about? They come back, they want to build Jerusalem, they want to build the Mikdash. They start, and they're thwarted by the people in the land. The people, sounds like a similar story. People in the land don't want us to be there. They don't want us to do what we want to do and what we have to do. So they start to build Jerusalem, and they go to build the Mikdash, and the people are giving them a hard time. And Zerubbabel and Yoshua Kohen Gadol become despondent. And they feel, this is not any time in Tanakh that something doesn't go right. So it's appropriate to think maybe we're undeserving. Maybe Hashem doesn't want us to do this. Maybe it's the wrong time. Maybe we're the wrong people. Maybe we don't deserve it. So Haggai, Malachi, and Zechariah are encouraging of Yoshua and Zerubbabel that actually, Haggai says it a couple of times. The whole book is only 2 chapters. Haggai says twice, Hashem itachem. You are the people. It's your responsibility and your right, and He's with you. And so you're the ones to do this. You're the ones to build it. If I had picked the Haftorah, I would have picked Haggai because it's got the date of Chanukah. Today is the day before we're going to rebuild it, and it's the 24th of Kislev, Haggai says. But Zechariah has a parallel. What's the story in the Haftorah that we read? There's 2 parts. First parts are addressed to Yoshua, second parts are addressed to Zerubbabel. So in the first part, Zechariah describes, I see a vision. Yoshua is standing there in soiled garments. Satan is right there about to open his mouth, and Hashem says, Rega, don't say a word. And he says, Yoshua, take off those soiled garments, put on fresh garments. You're the one who's going to go and lead the people. I'm using soiled garments. It says begadim tsoim. Tsoa in modern Hebrew means excrement. It's a disgusting image. The Kohen Gadol is standing in the garments of kahuna that are full of excrement. What's the image? Zechariah has an image of what Yoshua thinks of himself. What does Yoshua think? Who am I? What am I? I'm a nothing. I'm disgusting. I don't deserve to lead the people. I'm way over my head. This is not me. So Hashem says to him, no, you are the man. Now I may not argue with you about your having failed, as of all people, but we don't demand perfection of our leaders. You are the one I want to build the Mikdash and to rebuild Jerusalem. So he says, and take off those garments, you're the one. Haggai and Zechariah encourage the people. That's their purpose. And that is the story of Chanukah. The story of Chanukah is encouragement of those who view themselves as being in over their head, view themselves as wanting to do something but not feeling they're up to it, and to go ahead and do it. And Haggai's story happens on the 24th of Kislev, and he says, tomorrow we're going to do this project. We're going to build it. Chanukah is built on the story in Tanakh. Just want to conclude that maybe there's a lesson to be learned of really there are only 2 times in which the Mikdash has been dedicated. Shlomo comes in, builds the country 440 years after they've come into the land of Israel. They've built a country politically, economically. There's peace in the land. His name is Shlomo. And he builds the Mikdash. There's a second time it's built, and it's exact opposite. Zerubbabel and Yoshua come back. They don't build the land. They don't build the politics. They don't build the country. They don't build the economy. They build the Mikdash first. They build it first, and it doesn't go so well. And Ezra picks it up later and strengthens it by saying, you've got to build yourself, and then the Mikdash will be successful. We're now in the third one. So we built the country economically, politically, very strong in many, many ways. I see it out my window every day. The city building, modernizing, becoming a better city economically. We don't have the Mikdash. So that's the story. There's different ways to build the land of Israel and to build Kedusha. First, you build the country. And now, as in Israel today, we're at the stage now where we have to build the people to be Mikdash-like. Rav Shechter said in his shir last week, it's hard to be a light unto the nations when your prime minister's in jail, and maybe another one, and your chief rabbi's in jail. You know, we have to build our leadership. You know, Yoshua's and Zerubbabel felt inadequate. Well, sometimes our leaders are not what we want them to be, but we too, as people, we need to be deserving of Mikdash. In this return to the land of Israel, it's no less miraculous than the story of Chanukah. We built a country. It's big and it's powerful and it's good, and there's Torah and there's mitzvahs and it's a tremendous moment in Jewish history. We're waiting for the next moment, which would be the Chanukah HaMizbeach, through the Chanukah of our hearts, to be where they should be, to be worthy of the Mikdash. A Chag Sameach to all.